Colby, you know what you should never do?
What's that, Barry?
Wake a floating goat. This movie is amazing. I love this movie. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
The music.
What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful month of March.
Yes, and happy St. Patrick's Week.
Oh, is this when this is dropping? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I double checked.
Oh man. First movie, a hit.
Right.
And I never heard of this movie.
I had not either, but I watched the trailer and I was like, this is 100% a Colby movie.
Surprisingly too, I looked it up and this movie has a 98% rating. Certified fresh.
Yes.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
And it earned it.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think this was a film festival kind of release. I don't think it ever got like a really major theatrical release.
Yeah. This was I saw like this was going around the indie film festival routes and all that stuff, and then it pretty much landed on British Netflix.
Okay.
But if you're in America and you don't have access to British Netflix, why don't you check out our sponsor? No, I was kidding. Our VPN sponsor for today, NordVPN.
I actually watched this on Canopy, on the Canopy app, which is the one that like hooks to the library.
What?
And they were like, free movies, and it's on here. And I'm like, yes, sign up. And they're like, enter your library card number. And I was like, I have not had a library card since I was like 12. So I had to like digitally get on the Clark County library system and get a virtual card. And then I put that in and they're like, yay,
that's awesome.
You get 10 free movie rentals a month.
What?
And they have a bunch of like good hit movies.
Yeah. It's funny. Like maybe like 8 years ago, I went into a library because I think I was just bullshitting for the day. And I was like, I haven't been in a library in years. Let's see if there's any hot moms in there. And they have a DVD section. They have a rental DVD section.
Right?
And I was like, well, how much do you pay? He's like, you don't. You just check it out. I was like, what?
Yep. I remember, now it's probably 10 years ago. But before like iPhones were really big and they had the iPods.
Yeah.
I had a friend who was like, yeah, I go in to the library and I rent all the CDs and then I just download them onto my iPod and they got like everything I want. And so it's like, I don't have to like buy them off of iTunes because I could just rent them from the library, download them and then return them.
That's like one of those questions they ask on TikTok. What sounds legal? What is it? Ripping movies like that. Oh man. But here, before we actually tell you what the movie is, let's go to our trailer section of the show. What happens in rural Ireland when you're being haunted? Well, you bother the local driving instructor because she used to be a paranormal prodigy that kept the people well informed of the strange and abnormal with her occult researcher father. Enjoy this movie as Rose battles a has-been musician from the 80s while they fight for the life of her new possible boyfriend's daughter in 2019's Extraordinary.
Perfect.
So this movie was obviously from 2019. It's a Irish film,
right?
Because that's the theme of the month, and and I was actually really surprised. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna know anybody in here because it's a Irish film, but the fact that Will Forte,
yes,
is in here. What a I would be really sad if I had met this man and he was like an asshole. You know, because he plays such like doofy
Yes.
characters,
Right.
um, but every time you see him, he's never bad.
Right.
He is so locked into his roles, and even when he's like an asshole, he's like you can't help but like him, especially in this where where I don't know if he's trying to speak like in old English.
You're right. Yes, but he does kind of.
He's fulfilling the part of a dark warlock or whatever.
Right. Or I don't know if he's like trying to put on airs because he's this one-hit wonder musician. And yeah, so he's like, I'm so much better than everybody.
Oh yeah, especially when they ask him like, "Why did you decide to live in Ireland?" He's like, "The people, they're so simple. they don't understand the thing of a genius." Oh man, yeah, he's so good in this movie.
Like he's MacGruber good in this.
MacGruber, he's MacGruber, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh man, but the movie isn't, the main character isn't Will Forte. We actually have
no. He's the nemesis.
the antagonist.
The antagonist. There we go. Yes.
The movie actually stars Maeve Higgins and Barry Ward as as our main characters. That's how you say it, right? Maeve.
Yes.
Maeve.
Yes.
Go fetch me another bottle. Oh man, no, it's nice. It's like you get to really see, like, I like watching these international movies, especially even if it's just like from United Kingdom, because I think we get a lot of those actors like that trickle down here, like Chris O'Dowd is one of them. Obviously, you have like Hugh Grant, Jude Law, and all that stuff.
Right, and they're talented enough. Like, yeah, you definitely see them getting picked up and brought over here to be in some movie or something that went, international, like like Taken or something, where they're like Taken in Ireland and they're like throw Maeve in there.
Right, Maeve kind of felt like a Scottish Jennifer McCartney. Is that her name is?
Totally, yes.
Oh man, but see, so the movie is about a woman named Maeve.
Yep.
Who's playing the character Rose, but the movie actually starts off in a weird 16:4 format, VHS type.
VHS style, yep, a little grainy at the bottom of the screen.
And for a good part of that, I was like, why is there like no sound? I kept checking if my sound was on.
This is the first movie I watched on Canopy, and I thought that for a second. I was like, oh, maybe these movie rentals are free because they're like these weird rips off of like VHS tapes or something, and maybe if I get like 15 minutes in and this is like this, I might have to rent it from somewhere Prime or something.
No, but we actually start off with it's funny, before Colby got here, I was watching some guy watch a Beyond Belief show, which is an old Fox TV show about supernatural stories that may or may not be true. And this is the same exact style that we get. He's like, there's a ghost in cheese even. If you've ever had a bad dream, it's because the cheese was haunted because of the microbes in there that are alive. And it feels...
It made me think. I was like,
oh,
cheese?
No. He's ruining cheese for Colby.
Oh, no, nothing ruins cheese.
Not even nature's plastic. Oh man, but yeah, he explained, and it's funny because it's so goofy when you see his examples of all these like haunted items, because it kind of looks like old timey like ghost representations where things are just floating. He's like a child's ball or balls.
Right. And it's just a basketball bouncing with no kid there. And you're like, somebody could have just thrown that.
No, and then when he says balls, then there's two balls just.
There's a haunted trash can, and the lid on the trash can just kind of blows up and then comes back down.
Oh, man, it's a nice little segue into who our actual main character is, because the man from the VHS tapes has passed away at this intersection, and he is being visited by his daughter, who lays down some flowers for him.
Right.
And we get informed that she is the reason why her father had died.
Right.
And then after they leave, a trash man comes and picks up the trash.
And just throws away the flowers she just left.
And so we get introduced to Rose, who's like this middle-aged driver instructor.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not middle, maybe mid-40s, around that.
Oh, no, probably
Late 30s?
late 30s.
I think so. You know, it's, harsh winters in Ireland. But we get introduced to her life. You know, she's a driving instructor. Everything seems kind of okay. She gets mistaken for coming on to one of her students. She's like, oh, so what are you going to do for the rest of the day? He's like, I'm engaged. He's like, I'm just making banter.
What we call driving instructor banter.
Which I remember. I remember like the driver instructor trying to relax you. It's supposed to it's a relaxing technique, right?
Right. Yep.
And so she heads home, and we don't really know what's going on with Rose at this point. You know, why was she the reason her father died, right? And so she goes to check up her messages, and she's a kind of a mood, because the moment she gets in front of the fridge, she drops her pants, and I was like, same.
Yep.
Most definitely the same. She has a fitness ball in the corner of her kitchen that she sits down on, and as she goes to eat some snacks, she listens to her messages, and then this is where we find out that Rose has what they call a talent.
Yes.
You know, in America, it's a gift.
A gift. Yep.
But we get a whole bunch of messages of people trying to ask her to exercise something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so at this point, we're like, oh man, maybe something happened during an exorcism with her father. Still don't know what's going on, right? But then all of a sudden, we get a call from a man named Martin.
Yep.
I just have to ask for the parents that are out there, if you have a last name that's a first name, why would you ever?
Because my last name's Williams,
Yeah.
and I would have slapped both my parents if they called me William. If I was like William Williams, that would have been the worst.
Oh yeah, Colby grew
If
up
you
in
have
the
that
80s.
name, I guess it's not the worst. I apologize, but I would have disliked it.
Yeah. Yeah, Colby grew up in one of the harshest climates of teen bullying. You know, the late 70s, early 80s.
Right. Yeah. When the teachers were like, yeah, no, go ahead and bully just as long as you don't punch the kid too many times.
There would have been those
wedgies were fine.
Oh, it'd be hey, what's up, Will Squared?
Yeah.
Billy Willie.
Right. That's how I became the cheese boy, because it was like, hey, Kobe cheese boy. And I just was like,
wait,
you are
so-
what you eat. I'll
during-
be the cheese boy. I don't
During
care.
those times, did you have cheese in your hand? Some
I
string cheese?
quite possibly did. I've always been a fan of cheese. Yeah.
Oh man! So we actually get a look into Martin's life. For some reason, it kind of feels like a weird coincidence, with the writing on the mirror.
Right.
You know, but then I had chalked it up to maybe he did that to remind himself to pay the car tax. But then when he goes to put on a shirt, he's like, oh, not that one again. And when he goes to go change it, the cabinet flies open, smacks him in the face.
Yep.
And apparently this has been going on for 8 years.
Yeah, because he kind of goes downstairs and his daughter's like, "Oh, what happened to your face?" And he's like, "Oh, I hit myself on the cabinet." And she's like, "It's mom again, isn't it?"
Like it's the normalest fucking thing to be haunted by your mother, right? But the daughter is like, you talk to this quack of a driving instructor because apparently she can talk to ghosts or exorcise them.
And she has to get rid of mom because mom is a pain in my butt and it's either her or me.
Yeah, I will move out. I am tired of this.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a fair thing because, we don't know this about Martin right now, but Martin seems like a pretty meek person. He's not exactly, he's not going to be the eye-catching Jude Law that comes into the room.
Right.
He's going to be the Will Forte. Like he like tricks you into loving him. But no, he ends up tricking Rose into giving him a driving lesson.
Yes.
And as the driving lesson progresses, she's like, "Oh, this is really easy. Sometimes teaching, you could just like hang out, just lay back."
Yeah, you were such a good student.
Yeah. But then when she's like, "Oh, this is what we call what's it called, like a backwards,
A parallel parking?
Yeah. Well, no, that's what he calls it. But she's like, we call it a backwards parking or something. And he does it super smooth, like he's been doing it for years. And then that's where he drops a bomb. He's like, my dead wife is haunting me. Can you please help?
Right.
She's like, no.
She's like, I don't do that anymore.
No, this too much. It's too much responsibility.
And he's like, you don't think I'm crazy? And she's like, no, of course not. But I can't help you.
Yeah. But after that, she goes to see her very pregnant sister, Sailor, but then she apparently was taken aback by Martin. Like I said, he's a very meek dude. When they first met, he brought sandwiches, juice box, and a mint. For the onions,
right?
In the sandwich.
And she read it like totally different because she was all like, yeah. He asked for driving instruction, and he already knew how to drive.
Oh, right.
And sister's like, oh,
he pretended.
He pretended. He's so romantic.
When you put it in that context, it sounds like, you had caught his eye for a while now, and this is the only way he could talk to you.
Exactly.
But my chair, my seat is way back. But no, so. She what's it called? She stalks him basically into this hardware store.
Oh, right, because that's her sister said. She's like, I don't know when I'm going to see him again, and her sister's like, oh, stalk him. It always works for me.
I mean, she has a baby in the belly, so I guess it did work.
Yep.
So she ends up stalking him into Sarah, who is Martin's daughter's convenience store or hardware store, and they have a little chat. Sarah's like, oh, what a bitch. She's not going to help us. And Martin's like, language.
But he defends her. He's like, yeah, she's a little strange, but a good strange.
Yeah, she's nice, but strange. So after that, though, while this is all happening, we get a shot into, like a look into Christian Cosmo. Oh, Winter Christian.
Yeah.
Christian Winters. Who's played by Will Forte. He did an interview and he's saying, I'm going to make a comeback.
Right, because he was a one-hit wonder in the 90s.
Yeah.
And
90s or 80s?
Could be the 80s.
I don't know. I mean, his aesthetic was very 80s, right?
But then, so then he's never had another hit since, even though he's trying.
Yeah.
So he then decides to basically make a pact with the devil or a demon to get his next hit.
Yeah, well, we didn't know until he walks into this room and this girl was just floating above a pentagram.
Yeah.
A virgin girl. Right. And so, but then his wife accidentally wakes her up and she explodes in half.
Yeah, we get the explanation of that a little later.
Right?
But yeah, if you don't wake
a floating goat.
A floating ghost, yeah.
Goat.
But
because they exploded the virgin, William Forte has to find a new virgin, so he gets his penis staff. his virginity rod of divination.
Yep.
It's every step he takes, he has to do the incantation, and it's
Right, because
amazing.
it always points in the direction of someone pure.
Right.
And so he starts from like in
the
like
house.
this mansion that they're living in. And he's like, and he drops it. So it only falls for like 3 feet.
Yeah.
And then he walks over and picks it up. And his wife, after he does it like 4 times, his wife's like, maybe you should start doing that like once you get into town.
Exactly. But it ends up pointing to Sarah, and it's always creepy when like you ask somebody like, oh, how can I help you, or what can I do for you, or something. He's like, yes, you can. And so he ends up doing something to Sarah, but she ends up getting possessed.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So Martin at his end, like at his wit's end, he knows he can only call Rose. And he's like freaking out, and he's like, my daughter's floating in midair.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. My daughter's possessed.
Yeah. And so she goes into this room that she had locked up, which we find out is actually her father's study.
Yep.
And she bags everything that she knows that she needs. And so she finds out that she's well, at first she's hoping it's something else. But then once she finally comes to the realization, it's a satanic sacrifice.
Right. Yep.
And so so she first puts the a spell of holding, which is like a crown of like bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's supposed to like keep her
right
split.
because she's going to float from there to the place of where she was summoned. Yeah.
Or where the spell was cast, right?
Yeah.
And after that, they put on one of the VHS tapes from her father's TV series, and we find out that it's called the Floating Goat. And we find out that this goat is floating because it's been a spell has been casted on it to make it a sacrifice.
Yep.
And when you try to wake up a floating goat,
it explodes.
And he was like, holy fucking shit. But, it's nice that we don't have to really go through other parts of the movie where you have to find out how to do it, because Rose already has it. She's like, we need the ectoplasm of 7 ghosts.
7 ghosts, and we need to rub the ectoplasm on her face, and that will wake her up, and then she will no longer be a sacrifice.
I really agree with Martin on this, though. He's like, why does it have to be so disgusting? And I was like, all right, like, I guess I was trying to think of what the ectoplasm can look like. Why does it have to look like jizz?
So jizzy.
It's so creamy. And so, but Rose finds out that Martin is being haunted by his ex-wife, but she finds out that, oh, you can talk to ghosts. And so she explains to Martin, like, oh, my father used to be able to talk with ghosts. But this is sorry. So first they go to do a possession thing.
Right. Yep.
And they're able to exorcise this trash bin ghost.
Yeah.
And Martin has the jizz come out of his mouth.
Right, because she can give the ghost that's possessing something the ability to move into Martin, and that way she can talk to the ghost and convince the ghost that they're dead and that it's time for them to move on. And then when the ghost leaves, Martin basically barfs up a bunch of ectoplasm.
While that's happening, though, Christian Winters, he was waiting for the girl to come out.
Right.
She never does, and he's like, oh, he has a spell of holding, so they follow them, and he's like, oh, this local witch. And so he makes a plan to take driving lessons from this girl, because I think he knows that they're trying to break the spell on Sarah.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have to do it at the height of the blood moon, which, if you guys don't know, that means your non-basic lands only to so they're on a time crunch, right? But so everything goes well for this first exorcism, but the next day Rose kind of thinks about it again. she realizes again. She watches her father's tapes and realizes the dangers of what they're doing at this moment.
Right. And since she feels like it was her fault that her father basically got killed,
Yeah.
doing these rituals, that she's terrified that she's might end up killing Martin, and she kind of fancies him.
Yeah. So the next day, instead of answering Martin's calls, and he's like whittling, sanding down. He's actually a pretty decent woodworker. Right. Instead of that, she goes to Christian's house to try to teach him how to drive. Dude can't drive for shit. He's like scared, terrified of driving. But then instead of at the end of it, they move like maybe a foot. He tries to calm her down. He takes off her scrunchie and he sings "Cosmic Woman."
Right, because she knows him as the one-hit wonder, even though he's not anymore. And she's all like, "Oh, I was such a big fan of yours when you used to be famous," basically.
But this was all just a ploy by Christian to get a lock of her hair.
Right.
But after that, after that, she goes to Martin's house and explains what happened to her father, where her father got possessed by a pothole and a dog at the same time.
Yep.
And when she was young, she had forgotten the words to make both of them move into the lights, and he ends up getting smushed by a bus.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I get it's very traumatizing for a child, but it's not your fault.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, if she exploded him, probably her fault.
Yeah.
But he got hit by a bus.
Yeah, he got hit by a bus while he was possessed by two things.
Yeah, that's just bad luck.
Yeah. But Martin's like trying to explain, like, listen, this is my daughter's life in danger. Like, it doesn't matter what happens to me. I just, we have to do something. And, she's like, if doing nothing is worse than trying and failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, he basically quotes Michael Jordan. I can accept failure. I can't accept not trying. And they think about it. Martin sings a song to his daughter while she's like floating in midair, and then Rose, thinking about the words that he had said, is like, "Fuck it, let's go."
Yep, we got to do this.
Right, and they go on a exorcism montage.
Yeah, so they already have the ectoplasm of one, so they line up 6 more, and they quickly get 5 of them, and then the last guy is just crazy.
Oh, I mean, it's a fox.
Yeah, but he thinks it's a werewolf.
Yeah. He's like, I like that thing. He's like, oh, I guess if you got bit by a werewolf and you're a ginger, you'd be a ginger werewolf, right? It's legit. I love the banter in here. But it's so they're like, Rose is like, no, we have one more ghost. Brings her to the cemetery and in front of the plot of Bonnie.
Yeah,
which is Martin's ex-wife or dead wife.
Or dead wife. Yep.
So he's like, all right, you're right. We have to move on. So they go home. Rose's sister is there what she thinks is babysitting, but it's actually making sure that this dead girl doesn't float, or no, the daughter doesn't float out of the house.
Right. Yeah.
And they start to exercise Bonnie.
Bonnie.
But while that's happening, Christian is also doing a ritual to block Rose's powers.
Right. So it both stops Rose's power, and then it also breaks the
holding spell.
The holding spell.
Right. And so in midway of the exorcism, we find out that Bonnie is a terrible person.
Yeah.
She's very aggressive, very like the complete opposite of Martin. And it's so weird because like we never get to see her face. Even in the wedding photo, like she's face is covered by the veil.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so midway, he is only able to half exorcise her. And the gross part is like the sister's baby daddy is there, and she's like, "You have to scoop that ectoplasm up and then take this other one and then rub it on a young girl's face."
Yeah.
He's like, "That sounds terrible."
Right, and at that point, they think it's a baby.
Yeah. Oh man. And then they find out they have to start following they're following this magpie that was there when Rose's father died.
Right. Yep.
And so they're following it. Bonnie and Martin are sharing their bodies right now. And then they lose the magpie, but then all of a sudden Sarah's floating body comes out of nowhere.
It's just floating down the street.
And then all of a sudden, Christian also comes out of nowhere. And it looks like they're like in this high-speed chase. But then when we get a shot of the outside, they're going like 5 miles. They're not even on the gas. They're just letting the car like on neutral.
Right, because they don't want to pass up the girl who's just she's floating like a helium balloon down the road.
I mean, when you're there, I guess when you're in Ireland, they all float.
Yo.
That's a Dark Tower joke for you guys. Oh man, it's funny though because Christian Winter's wife is like, "Man, fuck this," and she like grabs the ankle of the girl and starts speeding off.
Right, and she doesn't really understand the rituals, so she's just like, "Well, why don't we just kill her now?" And they're like, "No, we can't kill her here. We have to sacrifice her, not kill her."
Right.
And what's the difference? Let's just kill her.
Yeah. And it's messed up because like, when that whole sequence is happening, she puts in an order for some Chinese food. And she clearly says it's okay if it's boiled rice.
Yep.
And then when we get home, she's like, "I ordered fried rice."
Yeah.
This is before all this Asian hate that's happening. And then I just want to let you know there's a stem of Asian. But they end up getting into the house. They end up Christian kills his wife because she's fucking annoying.
Right. She keeps interrupting his ritual.
His ritual, right? And then Rose, Martin, Sailor, and I think his name was Barry as well in this show. The councilman.
Yeah.
They end up able to sort of interrupt it. But still a little too late because Christian lets a drop of blood into the pentagram. It opens up. Sarah falls in.
Yeah.
But Martin, what's it called? But Christian's not talented yet. And then all of a sudden, Sarah gets spit out.
Right.
And she's all gooey. Like, so gross.
7 ghosts worth of ectoplasm.
Well, no, she didn't get
No, I know, yeah.
Not ghost, demon.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
But she gets spat out, and then the demon Azeroth comes up, and he's like, "You think you could pull a fast one on us? That one's all dirty.
She's not pure.
Right?
You can't sacrifice her."
How do you think demons would care about this? But then all of a sudden he's like, "We'll take her as a sacrifice," and points to Rose.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, hold on, I'm not." His sister's like, "Well, what about Dylan McLeod?" He's like, "The tip doesn't count." And so she starts to get slowly pulled away, and Martin's trying to save her, but she's like, "Martin, there's one way you can save me right now."
Right. Yes,
if you don't make me a virgin.
Right. Yeah. The devil's only going to take, or the demon's only going to take me if I'm not pure.
Yeah.
Or if I'm pure. So hurry.
Right. So they start doing it. It's funny because Martin's like, "Usually I have more foreplay." Martin, what a man of the people.
That's right, because he gets his finger chopped off earlier.
He's like, "My good finger's gone."
He's like, "My good finger's gone." She's like, "It doesn't matter. Just do it so I survive. We can make it good later."
And while this is happening, Sailor is freaking her baby is coming out.
Yes.
But Christian ends up falling into the hole, and then Azeroth is like, "Oh, fuck it. The guy who summoned me is dead now."
Yeah.
Or is in hell now, so whatever. And the baby comes, everything seems fine until we find out that the magpie was actually haunted by their Sailor and Rose's father. goes into Martin. They're able to say goodbye.
Yep.
He tells Rose, like, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. And then we finally find out what Sailor's name is. It's Fanny. And then it skips to 3 months later. Martin and Rose start a business. I love the logo. It's like, it's the ghost in a jar.
Yeah.
And then Martin's like, I want you to know you're very important to me and Sarah. Rose says the same thing. Martin proposes, but she says no.
Right.
And then the movie just ends.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into like talking about the movie, let's go to our other section where we go high star and low star.
I can't imagine anybody.
This is 5-star, yeah.
I can't imagine anybody didn't have at least 4 stars for this.
Oh, this is a 5-star. Yeah, a lot of 5 stars.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Patrick reviewed 5 stars. I was a bit surprised how much I liked this movie. I didn't have high expectations as I had not heard of this movie, but the trailer looked a mixture of silly and sweet, so I decided to give it a try. The movie's very funny. We laughed a good bit. Also, thought the story was silly at points. It is very aware that it is silly and has fun with it. I'm a little disappointed that I only rented it, as it might be a fun rewatch with friends once social distancing is over.
See, Patrick likes to have movie nights with friends. It's awesome. We do have a 1-star, which I kind of understand. Like, this is like a great movie, but it's a movie that maybe it's a certain type of movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Kill Pretty for 1 out of 5. Boring, too slow paced. Paid for a rental, never finished the movie. I wanted to love this, but couldn't get into it. It was long, kind of boring, and slow paced. First movie I rented and didn't actually fully watch. That's huge for me. I will sit through terrible movies just to finish them, especially if I paid for them. I didn't finish this and forgot about it. That's how boring it was to me. I still don't know what it's actually about. The preview seemed way different and more interesting than the movie itself. Also, the preview makes you think there is more action to it than there really is. Actually, just watch the preview. It's like the best parts of the movie. That's someone who's spoiled by trailers and all this stuff.
Bad Kill Pretty.
Oh man, but like I understand that review only because like British, Irish type of movies, they tend to have a different pacing.
Right, and it is a very dry humor. It's very much like, Blackadder and like that Monty Python, that kind of like just
humor,
dry humor.
Yeah, because like obviously like a lot of people love Monty Python,
right?
But there's like a very small group of uncultured, but like that's up. I think you have to get introduced to different types of humor when you're young. That way it's easier to appreciate it.
Right.
Versus like if I had gotten into like, if I started watching like British or just like United Kingdom type of like movies, the humor for me probably would be like, this is all right.
Right. No, totally. Like I watched Three Stooges as a kid.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious. And when I watch Three Stooges now, I still think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But if like the first time I saw comedy like that pie in the face, pokey in the eye kind of, it would have been like, how did this get popular? This is terrible. Yeah, so I definitely understand that.
Yeah, but like the Three Stooges are like the godfathers of like slapstick body humor.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, and so I totally get this, just because like, sometimes I talk to other people like who haven't watched like Monty Python type of movies, and they're like, it's whatever.
Uncultured swine.
But it's definitely like a different type of humor. Who actually emulates dry humor pretty well in America is Will Ferrell. You know, as loud and obnoxious as Will Ferrell can be, there's some movies that he does that I don't laugh when I watch it, but then when I talk about it, it's like fucking hilarious.
Right. Right. Yeah, I've explained it like this. It was like, that's the funniest movie I never laughed out loud to.
Which is like, it's such a weird dynamic for a movie that you're not like bursting out laughing.
Right.
But then when you think about it and you talk about it, it's like fucking hilarious.
Right. Just so clever.
Yeah. Because I remember like when I first watched Anchorman, like I didn't find it funny. But then when I started like talking about it, I would start to chuckle, and I was like, that was actually pretty funny. Like,
right. Yep.
Oh man, but yeah, cool. What is this movie's I think chock filled with like, okay, so like before we get into like the reviews of like the things that we like, I think this movie is more of like almost like a satire of like the exorcism type of movies.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And so that way that might be the reason why a lot of people thought there was going to be more like Conjuring type of action. When there really wasn't. And then we also have to think about like the ghosts in these movies are reflecting the people of that region, right?
Totally.
So there, I feel like for the most part, because I've been to Europe, like a lot of people aren't as confrontational, you know, as they are here. So that could also be the reason why these ghosts aren't hyper aggressive. But Colby, what are some of your favorite parts of this movie?
So, two of the great lines in this that kind of show homage to similar, more famous movies was like when the girl is floating.
Yeah.
And she's what Martin's like, she's like, oh my God, this is like The Exorcist. And she says, oh, I've never met him. I don't know. What?
I did love that scene too when she first came to their house, or like when she came to exercise. It was the exact same scene from The Exorcist as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it just didn't have the little piano thing, but I was like, oh, that's so great. That's such a great. He's like, she's describing it too. She's like, no, because usually like aggressive possessions are like puking, masturbating with crew fixes. I was like, what? Oh. No, one of my favorite scenes is kind of like a very if you don't pay attention you miss it kind of thing, is when Martin is like cleaning up his daughter's room while she's floating there, and she like he sprays some like deodorant on her. Like on her underarms. I thought that was so funny.
It was a little slapsticky, but we talked about Will Forte with the staff that always pointed towards purity. The top half of it is like carved as a giant penis.
Yeah, that thing is massive. Oh,
but there's so many like clever things. Like she's like there's like a tree branch that's just kind of moving, and she's all like, "Hi, tree branch," because she like when she's in a good mood, she's like talks to the ghosts.
Yeah, it's like. No, she's like, "Hi, old lady," and the old lady is like, "Hello." She's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead."
Yeah.
A ton of great moments.
Like this bad review. Yeah, it's a little slow at the beginning, but it's like character development and stuff. I feel like that person turned this off way too soon.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, this movie ended. I was like, I was super pleased with this movie.
Yeah. So okay, so yeah, well, let's talk about that surprising ending, right? Rose says no to Martin's proposal.
Right.
What were your thoughts on it?
I feel like, he's that weak a meek person, like you said, that just can't live without somebody.
Yeah.
And like he's just lonely because his wife got exorcised. So like he just wants somebody else in his life, and she's like, "No, I've always lived alone. Like I don't need a man. So yeah, we'll be partners and we'll date, and that's fine."
Yeah, because it's only been 3 months, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. No. Well, the way I took it is like maybe for her, she's like she had been so contained for so long because she's been traumatized by her being the reason her father died.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, maybe at this point she's like, we can be partners. I want to be partners, and I do like you. Let's just play it by ear. We don't have to get married right now.
Right. Exactly.
And that's just how I took it. It was just so abrupt that like it kind of took me like a second to process like everything, because I was like,
right, because you expect it to be like he proposes, of course she's gonna say yes, and so it was just another one of those like, oh,
right.
And I loved that like when he had not gotten rid of the possessed wife inside of him. Every time he sneezed, like basically he sneezed and a cigarette would pop out of his mouth. And then when that happened, then that was then his wife was there.
Yeah.
You knew it was her because it was a cigarette and she was just cranky and mean.
Oh, man. Yeah. Barry Ward in this role is hilarious because when he's switching between all these like possessions, he's a complete like different character.
Yeah.
And I love it. And the sass that you get from him when he's Bonnie. And I don't know if it's written or if it's improv, but she's like, "Oh, you think I'm a slag, am I?" I knew it. It was just, it was so good. Like, I think it'll be easy to overlook Barry, or Martin in this role. But he's like so amazing when he does like the character switches.
Right, yeah.
Like when he's the trash bin ghost, he's like, Maggie, it's not that hard to separate the trash. But he's doing like this very the guy that the trash bin kid or the trash bin like spouse, he seems like a Martin type of character too. He's very meek, very like a shy, closed off.
They definitely play that. I don't know. I don't know if that's an Irish stereotype, but yeah, the women in this movie were all very, very powerful and very like opinionated, and the men were all very weak because the pregnant sister, her boyfriend, was like that too.
Yeah, the councilman,
because he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't be here. I'm going to leave," and she's like, "No, sit down." And you go, "Yes, sir."
Oh man! Another thing is when he scoops up the ectoplasm in his hand, I was like, "Oh my god!" It was so gross.
I half expected like a scene later when they're in the car for him to still be holding that.
He's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Oh man, I liked but I liked Martin's character more because like after the first jarring of the ghost, he builds like a little jar carrier. He cleans up. He's very meticulous.
Oh yeah.
And he even has breath mints on top of each jar. But what a loving father though, right? Because like doing the exorcisms and stuff like that in succession must have been physically tolling.
Right.
Because the first time he did it, he like knocks out.
Yeah.
And then the second time he does it, he does like 6 back to back.
Mm-hmm.
He must have been exhausted. But what a good father though, It's funny when we find out that Sarah isn't a virgin, and then Martin is like, is it that one boy Patrick O'Shaughnessy? These aren't the names. I'm just trying to think of the most Irish things. And she's like, "Dad, what makes you think it's a boy?"
That's right. Yep.
I was like, man, this movie's touching up on a lot of like stereotypes and breaking those stereotypes. Virginity doesn't mean it has to be a boy.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
The Azeroth the demon is a very Chad character. His it's only the tip. It doesn't count.
And for like a low budget, that was a very cool, like,
Yeah.
well done special effect at the end.
Yeah, that was a solid representation, because like obviously like I think a character design for a demon could be so expensive.
Right.
You know, rendering it, all that. I mean, I'm not saying that how they went about it is a cheap way to do it, but it must have been a lot easier than like having like trying to do a character design of like a, I don't know, like a buff demon or whatever.
Right. Yeah, they just had it under a sheet.
Right. I mean, obviously they could have also went like the easy route and just had it be a human with like black eyes. You know, make it like cheapish, like the Lucifer show or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, like yeah, they went full out with that. I thought that was like fun, because you did get to see some of the demon when he would point.
Yep.
And it's like this claw. So I thought this was cool. Yeah, this movie is a complete satire of the Conjuring movies, The Exorcist, without really
Ghostbusters.
without really having to do it like scary movie style, where it almost feels like they're on the same set.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. If these are like the type of movies that Ireland is pumping out, I totally want to keep watching.
Seriously, this is probably, as a horror comedy kind of spoof, this ranks to me like just under like Shaun of the Dead. Like,
Oh yeah.
same kind of humor. So
Yeah.
if you were like, I didn't like Shaun of the Dead, you're probably not going to like this.
Yeah. Also, how could you not like Shaun?
Right. But yeah, like I feel like this is like right on par with that.
Yeah, just like in the different same like horror genre, but different category.
Right. You got ghosts instead of zombies.
Yeah. And so yeah, like I really like, you know, like last week we had Grabber. Oh, was it Grabbers? Yeah, Grabbers. Yeah. And I think the reason why I liked it so much is like it's like I don't know, it seems like Ireland is taking a lot more risks with their cinema, because a lot of these they're like original type of kind of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though this one for some reason said based on a true story. And the only reason I had to look it up, I was like, what true story? And I think the only true story that I saw is there's actually another movie called Extraordinary.
Oh, okay.
And that one is based on a true story. And I was like, is that why?
Interesting.
But, like, I could not find anything about this being even similar, based on similar events or something like that. So I think they were just kind of like ripping off of like other like paranormal movies that are like based on a true story.
Right. Because there's so many.
Right. I wish I had said based on a true story. Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh man. If you guys don't know this, we're coming up to our hour. I want to thank you guys for coming back again this week. And if this is the first time you guys are joining us, thank you for taking a chance on clicking this episode.
Right?
But if you guys don't know, we do our reviews in 4 sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and the Who Watches This Ultimate Box Collection.
So far, I'm going with the Ireland Ultimate Box Collection. I loved last week's movie, and I loved this week's movie. Like,
yeah.
This was super surprised. Like the review that I read, that guy was like, I didn't know I was getting, and then I just ended up falling for this movie, man. It had a lot of heart. It was funny. If you're looking for a horror movie, I mean, like this is not like scary, and we're going like maybe 3 out of 10 on the scarometer. but yeah, just overall, I thought this was just an absolutely fantastic movie. This is
Yeah.
100% Blu-ray.
Yeah, especially definitely on a standalone. This is definitely like a easy Blu-ray pickup. It's easy. It would be so easy to slot this into my like Halloween rotation of like scary movies, because you know if If you guys don't know, I think Kobe does this too, but like, when it's October, we try to watch scary movies
Right.
all the time. You have to.
I try not to watch anything but scary movies in October.
So, but it has to have horror in it, like horror comedy,
Right.
horror drama.
And everybody's got those friends that are like, I don't really like scary movies. I don't like movies with blood. This would be a perfect, good Halloween movie.
Right.
That's,
Yeah, it's
maybe not super kid friendly because they do have the penis staff and some sex
fine.
jokes, but
yeah, that's fine. This is a PG-ish.
right. No nudity.
Yeah.
The sex. If you didn't know that they were having sex, you wouldn't have known.
They just look like they're just on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is and it's funny too because this movie hits on a lot of themes. It's sort of like a comedy version of the Babadook.
Right.
Because this deals with handling trauma, grief.
Yep. Except for that, the Babadook was terrifying for me.
Really, I was so like, all right, a little tangent before we end the episode. I didn't like the Babadook. Like I watched it, and like and as a person who pretty much grew up with a single mother as well, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can kind of like see myself in this. But no, it was just like I was like, oh, okay, this is just like a horror movie of like a horror metaphorical representation of dealing with depression and grief and
right.
all that stuff. So that's why it wasn't really for me. That's like the same reason why I'm not a huge fan of like a lot of these new slow burn horror films that are coming out. I like it because it's a nice change of pace.
No, it makes sense.
Right? But like movies like The Witch and Hereditary, well, anything that Ari Aster that guy does, I'm like, it's too art housey for me.
Okay. I just the way that they didn't show the Babadook and he was just in shadows and stuff. For some reason, that just
it's very Jaws,
terrifying for me.
Yeah, it like okay, I would still put the Babadook over Bye Bye Man, because the Bye Bye Man was like a terrible attempt at a Freddy Krueger-esque type of villain.
Yes.
Even though the guy who plays the Bye Bye Man he does all the horror like monster characters, which I love, but the whole story as a whole is like, man. And like don't think that I don't give like a lot of movies chances. I will watch a movie once, especially if it's in the horror category. But a lot of them can be duds. Like like Truth or Dare. Did you watch that? It's with like Teen Wolf.
Oh yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
Like,
I just recently watched Would You Rather?
Oh, the dinner party one, right?
The dinner party one.
Yeah, I remember renting that from Redbox.
That was
the dinner party from hell.
That was a lot of fun.
Because see, that one is nice because it's like a contained thriller, like horror thriller. Like it's like a little bit of Saw, it's a little bit of dinner party guest mystery,
right?
And it's a lot of body horror. Oh man, but yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We always appreciate you guys listening to us. If you guys want to go ahead and check out our show notes down below, we have our Amazon affiliate links. You don't have to buy those items, but if you're gonna go shopping on Amazon, why not use those links anyway?
Right, it gets you to Amazon, and then we get our few pennies off of your purchase. And we definitely, like I said, we appreciate you listening to us, and follow our Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us if you want to give us any suggestions or share the love. Anytime we get a new episode, we post it up there. We're pretty regularly weekly, so it's the easiest way to like click on the link on what's new.
Right, definitely. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.